Let's do our warm-ups and a little kind of spine work. So come into mountain pose, feet hip width apart, toes straight ahead, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders lined up. Reach your crown to the ceiling, relax your arms, and take a few moments to breathe, focusing inward, exhaling tension. And just let everything release and relax as you get into your yoga frame of reference. And then inhale, arms at shoulder level, stretch your fingertips out. Exhale, hands to your heart. Stretch out to the front, keep your shoulders down, and then clasp your hands behind you, press them down and lift your heart, and exhale over. Come into your forward position as deeply as you want. Keep the weight on both feet. Work your chin around, keep your neck releasing, lift your sitting bones, stretch your legs, and breathe. And then bend your knees slightly, work your way back up. Excuse me. Lift your heart, drop your shoulders, and just give yourself a stretch. And then inhale upright and relax. Take a moment, feel your spine. And again, inhale, arms at shoulder level. Exhale to your heart, stretch to the front, shoulders down, and clasp the opposite way in back. Hands to the floor, chest to the ceiling, and then pivot over as you exhale. Spread your toes, bring your arms toward your head, get those shoulders working a little bit more. And don't forget to breathe. And again, slowly work up from the bottom of the spine all the way into the upper body for your back bend. Take a moment to breathe there, chest high. And then inhale upright and release. Take a moment, just breathing, feeling your spine, your body doing what it's doing today. And again, bring your arms to shoulder level, palms toward the ceiling, hands above your shoulders, and then clasp your hands, straighten your elbows, bring your arms by your ears. And we'll do our side stretch. So lean to one side, push the foot down, and make sure you're not leaning forward. Feel the ribs stretch apart, the hip open maybe a little bit as well. And then inhale back up, keep the shoulders down, and switch your hands. Again, spread your toes, stretch your spine, and lean to the other side. So take a moment, push your foot down, and reach out through your hands, and don't forget to breathe. And again, coming back up, release into mountain pose. Take a breath, again, feeling those ribs a little more stretched after that lateral spine motion. And we'll do our spine stretch into our twist. So bring your arms up, palms to the ceiling, hands over your shoulders, clasp your elbows, spread your toes, and keep the weight on both feet. Stretch up, exhale, turn to the side. Take a breath, exhale, pivot on over. And just take a few breaths there, relax, lift your sitting bones, drop into your position, and take a few breaths. Spread your toes. And on an inhalation, the weight still on both feet, work your way back up, lift your chest, drop your shoulders, pull your elbows back, and feel that upper body only back bend. Take a breath or two, stretch it out. Inhale up, exhale around to the center and switch your arms. And again, lengthen your spine, turn to the opposite side. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, pivot over. And again, just deepen into that position as much as your body wants. Exhale, just relaxing. And then inhale and work your way back slowly up. Again, into the upper body back bend. Shoulders down, pull your elbows slightly back as you raise your heart. Take a breath or two, just relax into it. Inhale, upright, exhale to the center, arms up and out to shoulder level, pivot forward, come all the way down to the floor. Take a breath, just relaxing. Slide your hands up under your knees, halfway up, stretch everything straight, and then back into ragdoll. Pull in a little deeper, maybe stretch the back a little bit more, and release again to the front, and wind from the bottom of the spine all the way back up. As you get into mountain pose, just take a moment, letting your shoulders relax, crown reach to the ceiling, feeling your body, stretch your spine apart, and just gently move side to side in a little windmill twist. Take a moment, just letting that spine release a little bit more. And back to the center. Turn your toes slightly out, bend your knees, hands above your knees, and one more twist. Stretch your spine. Exhale, bring your shoulder across to the opposite knee. Other shoulder goes slightly up as you look, turning your whole body to the side. Hip, rib, and shoulder, everything turning into your twist. Stretch it out. Exhale, turn back to the center. Stretch again, spine apart. Shoulder down to the opposite knee, hip slightly up as ribs and neck and spine all turn to the side. Take a breath, stretch it out. And again, exhaling, turn back to the center, tuck your chin slightly in, and come on back all the way up again into mountain pose. Take a moment there, breathing in mountain pose. Just feel that stimulation through your body and spread your toes out for our gentle balance practice. So get the base of the toes connected, ball of the foot area and heel, not the toes themselves. Remember, spread them out. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder lined up. Activate that core, ribs in and up, and crown to the ceiling. Relax your shoulders and bring your other foot up. Only as high as it wants to go. You can be close to the floor. And when you're comfortable in your balance, circle your ankle. Keep it flexible, straighten it out, and return to the mat. Switch to the other side, spreading your toes, getting that ball of the foot area really connected along with the heel. And again, line everything up to make sure that you're supporting through the bones. Core active, shoulders back and down, crown to the ceiling, and bring the foot up. And again, let it go as high as it wants to go. Circle your ankle both ways. X and point. And release. As you get back into mountain pose, once again, just feel your body, what it's telling you today, and bring your hands to your heart. Inhale up toward the ceiling, another little back bend, looking at your thumbs, and a swan dive forward. And again, as you come into your forward position, just relax, and then slide your hands up under your knees into the halfway up stretch. And then bending your knees, come on all the way to the floor, into our child pose transition. Heels back on your hips, back on your heels, hands palms up, forehead down. Just let your spine stretch as much as it will. Exhale any tension. Deep breath. Just relax. And then inhale and sit up. Bring your legs all the way to the end of the mat. Into staff position. Core active, shoulders above your hips, back and down, crown toward the ceiling, and let that core support you as we roll all the way down. As you get onto the floor, just take a moment, relax. Reclined integration, let that whole body release and relax. And then slide your sitting bones toward your heels, back pressing down, and bring your heels in near your sitting bones, knees straight up toward the ceiling. So remember, don't let them spread apart, kind of roll in at the top of your thighs to keep the knees straight up. And then we're going to work our low back a little bit for strengthener. So inhale, bring your ribs up toward the ceiling. Let those sitting bones slide back toward your shoulder blades and arch up, giving as much space under your lower back as your body wants to have. And then exhale, slide the sitting bones toward your heels and press your whole spine to the floor, getting it really connected, contracting those abs maybe a little bit for some toning as well. And just a few times doing that just to warm up the low back a little bit more, arching up, giving it arch as much as you want from your sitting bones up to your shoulder blades, and then sliding and contracting into that back to the floor. And just feel the changes in your low back area as you're doing that, focusing your attention on what you're doing in your body today. Exhale as you come back down and relax into a neutral position. Take a moment and breathe. And then press your sitting bones again toward your heels. Press your back down. Hands next to you, palms down, feet flat, knees hip width apart. Inhale and lift your hips. So just bring straight up toward the ceiling, coming into that bridge position. Clasp your hands under you. Put the little finger inside and work up a little bit more onto your shoulders. Breathe, lifting your hips maybe a little bit more. Press into your feet, keep the knees hip width apart. Don't let them spread apart or cave in together. Just straight up above your ankles. Press into your arms and shoulders as well as your feet and lift your hips. And then releasing your hands, your shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Come all the way back down. Take a moment and breathe. And of course, we'll do that and clasp the opposite way under you with your hands this time. So once again, sitting bones toward your heels, press down with your back, hands palms down at your side, knees hip width apart as you lift your hip bones. Clasp your hands the opposite way, so other finger inside. And again, press into your hands, arms, and shoulders, working up onto the tops of your shoulders. Remember, not your neck. Knees straight up, spread those toes, get the whole bottom of your foot and your shoulders supporting it. Back of your head is on the floor, not your neck, and lift your hips. And again, just feel the low back and whatever else is working in your body as you move into your bridge, glutes and hip flexors and front of your thighs through the quads. And then releasing your hands again, release all the way back down to the floor. Bring your knees in, stretch your back just gently. And we're going to go a little bit deeper on this stretch. So bring your hands back to the floor. Exhale and kick your hips up and bring your hands to your low back, coming into half shoulder stand. So come up onto your shoulders, not your neck. If you've got a neck issue, you might want a blanket under your shoulders so that you've got a little more space for your neck. And you can keep your hips slightly bent as you bring your feet up toward the ceiling. If you want to go into full shoulder stand, just work your hands down toward your shoulder blades more and straighten your knees more straight, or your feet straight up to the ceiling. So your hips, knees, ankles, and toes are all in a line. Or you can stay in half shoulder stand with your hips slightly bent if that's easier for you. Take a moment there, get things comfortable, and bring your elbows toward you and press your back, your hands into your back for support. And then we're going to go from here into an even deeper forward bend. So bring your feet slowly behind you toward the floor. If they don't make it, that's okay. Keep your hands on your back and just support you. If your toes make it to the floor, it's going to contract your lungs a little bit. So your breathing will get more challenging and the talking also. You can release your hands if your toes are all the way down and clasp them behind you on the floor for a little more support onto the tops of your shoulders. And again, push out through your heels in that position if your toes are all the way down. Take a moment and breathe. And again, if you clasp your hands one way, you can switch them to the opposite clasp for a little bit of challenge to your hands. Take a moment to breathe, and then bring your hands back to your back. Bring your legs back up. Bend your knees toward your forehead, hands to the floor, and roll your body all the way to the mat. Take a moment there and slide your feet out. As you get back into corpse position, just take a moment, relaxing your body, and then sliding your sitting bones toward your heels. Bring your hands under your hips, under your buttocks. Put hands, palms flat on the floor, elbows way into your sides. And we're going to go into a back bend called the fish. So take a moment and breathe. Relax your body down. Press your back toward the floor slightly. Tuck your chin and inhale. Lift your shoulders, leading with your heart, bringing your upper body up to look at your feet. Lift your heart, drop your head back, and bring the top of your head down toward the floor into fish. Stay there with your head down and your arms and hands supporting you if that's working for you. If your head is all the way down to the floor and you want to go a little further, you can release your hands and bring them onto your chest, heels of the palms on your ribs, fingertips up into a prayer position with your arms, so that from the top of your head to the sitting bones are arched up, lifting your ribs toward the ceiling. Take a moment in whatever version of this, arms down or not, you're in. And when you're ready to release, bring your hands back to the floor under your hips, elbows back in, lift your head, again, tuck your chin in, looking at your toes, and roll your spine all the way back to the mat. Take a moment and breathe as you get all the way back down. Exhale any tension. Press your sitting bones toward your heels, and again, draw your heels in and your knees up toward your heart. Give your back a stretch. You can bring your head up if you'd like into that full contraction through the whole back of your body, stretching your spine, undoing that intense back bend that you were in. And then bringing your head and feet back to the floor, slide your legs out, and we're going to roll over onto our belly. So take a moment as you get back onto the mat with your belly down, head to one side into your resting crocodile position. And as you exhale, turn your head to the opposite side. Take a moment there, just relaxing, and then bring your chin to the floor, slide it forward, and turn your hands down near your sides. Bring your shoulders down. You can bring your hands under your legs slightly if you'd like. And we're going to slide the feet back and lift one leg up toward the ceiling, but keep both hip bones down. So this is locust position. And remember, just go as high as your body wants. You can stay close to the floor with your leg. That's perfectly fine. But to keep the hip bones going down so that you're noticing what's going on in that low back area. Stretch out through your toes. Stretch your chin forward, shoulders down, and lift that foot only as high with the knee straight as your leg wants to go. Stretch it out. Relax the shoulders. And as you exhale, lower the leg. When it gets all the way down, of course, just relax, feet hip width apart, release through the hips. And we're going to, of course, do the other leg. So again, feet hip width apart, stretching out, chin sliding forward, and bring the foot up. Those hip bones down as much as you can. Stretch it out through the base of the toes, lifting that leg only as high as your body needs it to go, keeping the hip down so that that back is doing some work along the spine. Take a breath, release any tension, stretch it out, maybe lift a little higher if that works for you. And then still stretching it out, lower the leg. As it gets back to the floor, again, just take a moment. You can bring that forehead to the mat. Remember to stretch your neck if you want and need to do that. Take a breath or two. Just release any tightness. And of course, get ready because we'll do both legs together. It'll be more intense, so be careful. Don't go too far and do just what's right for you. You can keep the hands next to you, palms down, slightly under your legs, or you can clasp your hands under you completely and bring your hips and pelvis down onto your arms and hands. Slide the chin forward, slide out hip width apart with your feet, and stretch as you bring your feet up, reaching out through the base of the toes, ball of the foot area, as you bring those feet up off the floor, knees straight. So again, raise the legs only as high as they want to go. Your low back is working, so don't overdo it. Take a moment and stretch through the legs, stretch up through the chin, down with the shoulders, and press those hips down into your arms or hands. Take a breath. Exhale, maybe go a little further. And then stretching out, again, slowly lower the legs back down. Release your arms, tuck your forehead to the mat, press your hands under your shoulders, give yourself a little child pose stretch. Take a moment, stretching it out through that back of your body where we were contracting. And then inhale up, and again, sliding off your feet. Bring your feet to the end of the mat into our staff position. Activate your core and slowly roll to the mat. We'll do our chiropractic twist for that low back area to give it a good stretch today. So bring your hands to T position, palms up, feet hip width apart. Relax your body, shoulders down. Sitting bones toward your heels. Bend your right leg. And put the foot on the left thigh. We're rolling all the way to the left side. Keep your head down, don't overdo your neck. Bring your knee down and your hands together in front of you on the floor. Hand on your leg and right hand to the ceiling. Palm open as you lower the hand behind you into your twist. So remember, the more you keep the knee on the floor, the more your low back is in this twist. So if you've already worked that back enough, you can have a pillow or something under your knee, a blanket, for example, to give it a little bit of less intensity. Your hand may not make it to the floor. Just let gravity draw you into the twist on this one. Exhale, relax. Trim your head for your neck area. Remember, don't overdo that if you have neck issues. Take a breath. Relax, letting the ligaments release and just deepen into your twist as much as your body wants and needs today. And of course, hold your twists on your own longer, but for now, just let go of your leg and roll onto your back, sliding the foot down, letting us have time to do our twist to the other side. So take a moment, feet hip width apart, sitting bones toward your heels, back gently down, bending your left leg, foot to the right thigh, or the opposite if you did the other. And again, head down as you roll to the side, bringing the knee all the way to the floor. Right hand going to the knee, and left hand right above your shoulder, palm up toward the ceiling. Bring it back right at hip or at shoulder level, not down toward your feet or up toward your head, so that chest stays nice and open in that middle back twist. Knee down as much as your lower back wants and needs, and head turning for your neck as much again as it is appropriate for you. Take a breath or two. Just exhaling into your twist as much as you need and want today. And in order to have time for our relaxation, go ahead and release, rolling onto your back. Slide your foot near the other one, bringing your hands, palms up near your hips, shoulders down, toes together, and just relax your lower body, your arms, your shoulders, your torso, your entire body. Exhale and just let your body grow heavy and sink into that surface beneath you. Deepening into that earth embrace, letting everything go. As you release and relax, allow your body to soften and sink. Just feel your muscles releasing. Feel your body relaxing and let it go. And as you release all the tightness through your entire body, just allow your awareness of your body to release from your attention. And as those thoughts release, know that other thoughts will come to you. Just let them go without attention. It's the job of your mind, remember, to produce thoughts. It's your choice whether you pay attention. As you breathe, just let things release from your awareness, drifting in and out as easily as your breath. No need to remember the past. No need to anticipate the future. Just let things release from your attention, along with your breath, along with your body. Deepening into that earth embrace, floating your mind, letting it release the content, focusing only inward on that peace within. Take a few moments being peace. And if that feels like great relaxation today, just keep on relaxing. As you begin stretching more deeply and getting ready for the rest of your days, breathe more fully, move your arms, legs, wrists, and ankles. Stretch your spine, sitting bones toward your heels, drawing the heels toward your hips, and the knees up toward your heart for that appreciative yoga hug. Give yourself that appreciative yoga hug, letting your body know you appreciate its yoga work today and the work your body does for you every day. And when you're ready to release, head and feet to the floor, roll to the side, and sit back up, getting ready for whatever's ahead for you today. Thanks for joining me.